They carried me through town like a trophy they just won. They got nothing but compliments and congratulations from everyone. As a baby, they could hardly wait for the moment I could walk. Then they would repeat words again and again to teach me how to talk. My parents were determined to prove I was the greatest kid. They made me feel so special and praised everything I did. But they and many after them had a completely different plan, which is where my disdain for human beings truly all began. I thought the sky was the limit until the day that I was grounded. How could you embarrass me like that? Oh, how those words resounded. The lesson started on that day, but it was some time before I would see. I would constantly seek approval and permission to be me. I salvage scraps of self esteem through the few good people that I've met. When people are reminding you how stupid you are, it's actually easy to forget. I guess my parents had gaps in their life that they wanted me to fill. Their lost hopes and ambitions were disguised as my free will. I had to learn to prioritize and compromise intellect for looks, gave up on my imagination when I threw away my books. I used to have such great conversations until the day I got a phone, and I became more disconnected with every new gadget I owned. So desperate for a comforting voice, yet there was no one I could call. Everyone was busy being busy, and yet they weren't busy at all. So uncomfortable with silence, they'd force themselves to speak, but never, ever of their feelings for fear of looking weak. When I told my friends I was free of debt, they thought it was a joke. I didn't think that I was broken, I just thought that I was broke. A way to make new friends, I thought social media would be fun, but when I amassed hundreds of friends, I felt like I had none. When I tried to share my thoughts with others, they made me feel like I was rude. No one allowed my voice to be heard, so I just silenced it with food. My train ride to work was the only socializing I had left, but cell phones and headphones made everyone blind and deaf. I once thought I had a purpose, but I replaced it with a job. I had potential to be a great machine. Now I'm barely just a cog. Hoping for human contact, I ventured to the crowded mall, automatic doors, faucets, and lighting, and now I touch nothing at all. Seems like everyone goes shopping whenever they get bored, their wallets filled with credit cards to buy what they can't afford. No matter where you look, there are ads relentlessly shoved in your face because if you're not constantly buying something, then I guess you're just a waste of space. I have memories from all sorts of places that apparently no one knows because they just became places to eat or somewhere to buy bigger clothes. Whenever I was in pain, I cried. Now I just swallow a pill because whatever people don't understand, they always try to kill. I stopped saying when I grow up the moment I realized I was grown. So when I lost permission to be a child, I just had one of my own. A car, an address, a house full of shit, but all I really have is debt. I've replaced resourcefulness with insurmountable regret. I thought I knew something about life. Apparently, I was wrong. Because instead of living twice as much, we should just live twice as long. A glorified storage unit is what I'm now forced to call my home. I have irrevocable envy for the homeless because at least they're free to roam. Think whatever you will of me. This was all that I could do to summarize my tragedy in a letter signed sincerely, most of you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Uh,
Oh,
that was like a new thing that you were doing. Like you don't usually. I want to hear your other stuff.
yeah, I don't rhyme. I like spoken word and I do like I guess what they call prose. I've actually never considered myself a poet. I just write stuff and this was my attempt to try and be a poet. So, like a rhyme scheme, things like that.
Yeah, man, I dug it a lot. I also you have a really cool social media account. Like I saw your link tree. That's really
Yeah.
cool, man. So for people watching you and finding you for the first time, because I mean you're new to this whole channel and show, we do have a lot of students, from the region who tune in and check you guys out. And so if people want to see your work and find your work online, I noticed you do a lot of multimedia stuff. How can they find that?
Yeah, I can put in the link tree over here. I mean, I'm not a celebrity, right? So my email address is right there. The website connected to that email is where you can find just my writings. I'm trying to build up more. My friends keep saying like you're the greatest thing no one knows about, but I've always been very averse to social media. No disrespect. So my friends actually asked if it'd be okay. I created a Google Drive account and I gave them access to all the art that I do, all the photos that I've taken of my work, all the writings in public. I do stuff, immersive stuff in the public. And I said, look, I'm trusting you. So they said, look, we'll only post the content that you put in this shared drive. So we know it's approved because you made it. And that, so it's weird because like, I know there's the duality of everything, right? And I don't mean to take up more time, but it's like, unfortunately, that's where people are. And what I've learned in life is you can't shout from one spot and tell people come here, come here, come here. Sometimes emotionally, mentally, physically, metaphorically, you have to go to where they are, be willing to be there with them and move at their pace to get to where they're trying to be. And so if people are online, if people are on social media, then I've got to meet them there, to help guide them with wherever it is that they're trying to go.
Awesome, man. Great points. And I'm glad you could join us, dude. You're welcome back any Monday you want to
I
come
will
through.
be here every Monday that you guys do this.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it, man. Let me see. New Orleans in the house. I love it. I love it. I got